Hey, Sandra, we're back. We're talking about the big show, GSX 2022. Sandra was kind enough when we had dinner the other night in your beautiful neighborhood to tell me all about the history of all the GSXs that I missed because I was not a member of ASIS International. But we're back in live at 2022. 2020 was virtual, 2021 was um, Chuck said it was intimate, so I'll go with intimate. And hopefully for 2022, Sandra, are we going to have a good show? Is
Oh,
there going
you
to be
know
lots
we're
of
gonna.
people
Oh
there?
yeah, there's gonna be a lot more people. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I think they're still doing a hybrid of some sort, but you know what? The best part about GSX is us all getting together, old friends we haven't seen, and there's so many new friends that we're gonna make. It's exciting when you have the exhibit hall. The educational sessions are going to be terrific, and the best part is parties are back. So we're going to have some parties happen on some of the nights, and nobody wants to miss them.
No, great point. So let's talk about that. There, there's there are the educational sessions. There's the floor, and we have our folks who can't make it that will be online, and they won't get the full experience. Of course, they won't be able to be on the exhibit floor and those kinds of things, but they'll see probably a lot of the educational sessions. But let's talk about the kind of the after parties or in some instances the pre parties. Tell us what do you recommend? You are the expert. You've been, gosh, well, let me ask you, how many GSXs have you been to? How many lanyards have you collected?
I think I have at least a dozen. At least a
Okay.
dozen. We're going back to maybe 2005, I think, but I can't remember exactly. But yeah, there are so many different things. It's changed obviously since COVID. Some of the events that we used to have were just off the grid amazing, but we have to move forward and things have changed due to COVID. So what they're still doing is bringing back parties, and some of my recommendations, very first thing you're going to want to do is go to Texas Night on Sunday, September
Chuck
11th.
Andrews.
Chuck Andrews. Yeah, he's the man. You're going to want to go there and meet him. Excuse me. Then the same evening is Canada Night. The Canadians are awesome. They make it a lot of fun. For Texas Night, if you can get on Chuck Andrews on Facebook or LinkedIn and find the link to register, that's the best thing to do. Then Canada Night, you don't have to register. Just start searching ASIS on LinkedIn and you'll find all the parties. Then Tuesday night, there are big sponsored parties by all the big security companies, like Allied Universal is having a big party, Securitas is having one, Hive Watch is having one. Those are the three that are on my radar right now. I don't know if you have any others that you know of.
I was going to mention Hive Watch. Those guys are great. They had a great show at ISC West, or they did a great event at ISC West last year. And looking forward to meeting those guys again, or hanging out with those guys, as well as Securitas, of course, is throwing a big one. So is Allied Universal. So besides the after parties, what kind of events should they be looking for, or what kind of sessions would you recommend that they attend?
Well, I'm obviously going to recommend they attend our session, which is Tuesday morning, and that would be September 13 at 10 a.m. We are doing a session together, as we always do, on competitive intelligence, but it will be a workshop, so bring your device that you can work on. Some of the other ones, I think my recommendation is to actually go onto the GSX site and then go to the sessions portion. Look for the types of things that are going to be important to you, whether it is cybersecurity, maybe it's physical security. There are a lot of different options because they've made the site keyword friendly. So you can search by keywords and find sessions that match. Or if there's a certain person you're looking for, you can search for just their last name, their first name. Again, it's a very open search. So look for whatever is important to your industry. That's my recommendation on sessions. But of course, they want to come to ours.
Yes, definitely. Please don't miss it. It's great. Sandra's also doing one. She mentioned the one that we're doing together on competitive intelligence, but you're also doing another one on, I think, is it Monday? Do I
It
have that
is.
right?
Yes, you do. It's Monday, September 12th at 2 p.m. and it's called Anonymizing Your Digital Footprint for Online Security. So I would love it if you guys all come. Scott will definitely be there. So
Yep.
he'll be able to introduce us after the session, and then we'll absolutely convince you to come to ours. But then, Scott, you're also doing another session on Tuesday as well, aren't you?
I have two more sessions that I'm doing on Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be crazy for me. I'll probably lose my voice, and I'll apologize in advance because I'll be talking so much. But yeah, I'm fortunate enough to be kind of hosting a session on virtual reality, metaverse, trust and safety, risk, all the kinds of crazy things that are going on in the metaverse or in virtual reality, and with my friends Al Bora and Amanda Lewis. They are great people.
Mhm.
They are very articulate, and I think we'll put on a good show. It'll be funny. There's going to be quizzes for the audience. It's going to be great.
I can hardly wait to be there.
Well, and I was going to say, what's the etiquette when you go to these sessions? Do you want people to be asking questions? Do you want people to be meeting up with you afterwards, or what do you recommend?
That's a really good question, because one of the things about this whole event, it's all about the networking. So when you go to those parties at night, that's the real networking place. But when you go to the sessions, you want to be doing that as well. I know it's going to depend on the speakers and the panels as to whether they want questions or not. But for myself, and I know with you, we enjoy engaging the audience. We want it to make a full experience. So hopefully you can find some sessions like ours where we're going to invite you to ask questions, and we're going to invite you to engage and provide information that might enhance what we're talking about. So be sure, if you're going to sessions like ours or anybody else's, engage the people that are sitting beside you. Shake hands, introduce yourself. The best thing that you can do for yourself is meet as many people as possible. So anybody that's around you is going to be open to say hello to you as well. Definitely utilize the sessions for more than just the education.
I totally agree. There's all kinds of neat ways that they're doing the education sessions. There'll be main stages. There'll be session rooms. You know, if people came last year in 2021, they'll remember that we were in kind of a big open space, and everybody was right next to each other. It was a little distracting. But this time we're going to have our own room. At least we're promised that, Sandra. So, you know, fingers crossed that'll be good. And I'm sure, as you said yesterday on our call, that more than likely it's going to be standing room only. So get to these sessions early is what I would recommend. Get to the session, especially if you need it for certification. I'm a certified PCI, or certified it with a PCI. And so you need to get certain things for your certification. Make sure you're doing that. Also, if you do have a certification and next year you want to present, it's a great way to get hours towards your cert. So consider doing that as well. The last thing that I would recommend is to would the show would not exist, our educational opportunities would not exist without our vendor partners. So spend time on the floor. Nobody likes going and talking to salespeople, but they're humans too. They got a job to do. Give them a few minutes of your time, and spend some time looking at these great new products that everybody has coming out, great new services everybody has coming out. We are going into a whole new world, and what we need to do as a society is encourage evolution and encourage us to collaborate. And that's what I would recommend. Last question for you, Sandra. What's your favorite part of the show?
Oh my goodness, that's out of left field. I don't even know. There are so many things I love about it. I think it's actually what you were just talking about, though. My favorite place to go is actually the exhibit hall, because when I'm walking through the exhibit hall, I'm, again, networking, meeting people. So it's not just the salespeople at the booth, like you said. You end up networking with them, and you end up developing new opportunities and new businesses. But it's fun too, because make sure you grab some of those bags, because there's a lot of swag to take home. Bring back or bring with you an extra suitcase, because you may need it. But I think that's my favorite place, is really the expo floor. And I do enjoy meeting all these new people. And so I would highly recommend going there. And there's one other thing I wanted to mention about the event itself. Make sure you start looking at some of the communities where you can volunteer. Depending on the industry you're in, it could really bring you a lot of business, a lot of new colleagues, and a lot of new ways to get your business done. Volunteer leadership has been part of my world since I joined ASIS, and that has been probably the biggest plus in my life, being a volunteer leader on it used to be called the Investigations Council. It's now the Investigations Community, and it leaves it open for anybody to join. There are lots of communities out there. So when you're at the conference, definitely ask about the communities and find the hubs where they're talking about it.
That's great. We'll leave it there. Sandra, thanks. We will see you at the show.